If you spend a lot of time in your shop, then you need it to be safe, comfortable, and efficient. So today I'm going to show you some of the best improvements you can make in any shop, no matter how big or small a space you're working with. I've got a bunch of topics to cover like storage and organization, power and lighting, and even improving your tools. But first, let's address something that will make those long days in the shop even more enjoyable. If you're working in a garage like me, this first upgrade is an absolute must in my book. Insulating the garage door is one of the fastest, easiest, and cheapest ways to make your shop more bearable during those really hot summer months. And it'll also help keep your shop warm if you happen to live in one of those weird places where it actually gets cold. Now this is just a standard garage door, but I bought an insulation kit that has these styrofoam panels that you cut to size and just pop the panels in place. You can insulate a whole door in less than 30 minutes. And let me tell you, the change is immediate. My garage doors face south, so they get blasted by the sun all day long, turning this garage into an oven. But after installing the insulation, there's almost no heat at all radiating off these doors. And as a bonus tip, save the cutoffs. I use these all the time as sacrificial spacers beneath plywood whenever I'm cutting down large sheets to size. I have a link to the kit I used down in the video description, so be sure to check that out. Now, if you have the budget for it, having a mini split unit in the shop is an absolute life changer. Even with it being 100 degrees outside, I'm cool and comfortable working in the shop all day long. Now, although I don't need it here in Texas, a mini split can also have a heater in it, keeping the shop warm during those winter months. Not only does a mini split make it more comfortable in the shop year round, but it's also really great for your tools. Now, this is because it does an awesome job at removing the excess moisture out of the air. As long as you run it a little bit each day, the humidity level will stay low in your shop, which is going to prevent rust from forming on your tools and all of your cast iron surfaces. The next upgrade that will make a huge impact in your shop is lighting. Lighting is going to make it much easier to see where your pencil marks are on the board, be able to tell where your blade is cutting, and even be able to read the tape measure easier. Good lighting is also going to help you see the actual color of the wood you're working with and how different stains and finishes really look on your project. And if you want to take photos or even make videos like this, good lighting is essential. For a good example, watch what happens when I turn off my good LED lighting and then turn on the regular shop lights and see the color difference that it makes with the wood behind me and even the shirt that I'm wearing. Now here with the regular shop lights, you can see what a difference it makes. Not only is it much darker, but everything, it takes on more of a yellow orangish color. I mean, I can barely even tell the difference on camera between this cherry and the walnut. Good lighting really makes a huge difference, so make sure that you do it right. I recommend installing LED lights with a color temperature of around 5,000 Kelvin. This is a color temperature that is very bright white and really close to natural daylight on a bright sunny day. It's going to make it easier to see details and true colors without the light making everything look either orange or blue. Now the ones I have are 4-foot fixtures that are hardwired in, but if I was going to do it today, I'd probably go with something smaller and easier to install in a tube design. These can be daisy chained together and just plugged into an outlet in the ceiling, just like my garage door openers. All right, next let's talk about upgrading your flooring. Now there's nothing worse than standing on concrete all day for your feet, your knees, and your back. It's absolutely horrible. And over time, this is just going to get worse as we continue to get older. Now I've tried fatigue mats before, but honestly, they were really a pain. They slide around way too easily, and some of them even lift up on the edges, making them a tripping hazard. And that's the last thing you need in a shop full of sharp tools. Now the solution I found is horse stall mats. Now these provide cushion that I can work out here all day long, and it has made a huge difference. Now these mats are a lot larger and heavier than the fatigue mats that you might put in your kitchen. They're about 4 foot by 6 foot and very heavy. So when you put them down, they aren't going to slide around and they're not going to lift up on the corners either. They're made of really dense rubber and it's firm enough that you can still roll your tools across the mat without the wheels digging in and getting stuck. It even supports my heavy weightlifting equipment without any problem at all. And there's one added bonus that I didn't think of when I first bought these horse stall mats. If you drop, say, a chisel or a hand plane on a concrete floor, it's going to do some major damage to the blade or even crack a plane sole. But with these mats, they absorb that impact and the tool is going to be just fine. Now these can get a bit expensive to outfit an entire shop. They run about $50 each, which is why I started with just 2 or 3 to try them out for a few months. And then I went back and bought 4 or 5 more to cover my gym space and all of my main work areas. Now one thing I like to do once I have all the mats in place is come back with some black tape and tape the seams together. Not only is this going to look a little bit better, but it's also going to lock all of the mats in place so that they don't slowly start to drift apart as you're walking around your shop. It also seals up the seam between the mats so that you don't have dust and debris and any small parts falling and getting stuck in between the mats. And another thing that's going to make a really big difference for your back and your feet is wearing really comfortable quality work boots in the shop, like these Marin work boots from Brunt, the sponsor of today's video. One of the really awesome things about these boots is how comfortable they are right out of the box. There's no painful break-in period that you get with a lot of other boots. And the unique cushioned footbed gives you all the comfort and support that you need for a full day out in the shop. I like that they are light and breathable so that my feet feel cool and dry all day. Brunt boots are not only comfortable, but they're really tough. The barnyard resistant leather can handle whatever job you throw at them. And they are so confident in their boots that you can try them on the job, and if you don't fall in love with them, you can just send them back. Be sure to check my link in the description or scan the QR code to check out the available styles and options at bruntworkwear.com, and be sure to use my discount code and check out for an extra $10 off your first purchase. All right, now let's talk storage and organization. Now, if you need to get organized in your shop, one of the first things you should do is start to address your lumber storage. Now, when I started out, I had just a pile of lumber just sitting over on the concrete floor of my very meager shop. One thing I didn't know was wood sitting on a concrete floor will actually pull up moisture out of the concrete. Now, this can cause the wood to twist and bow or even start to mold or rot.
That's just nasty.
The solution to this, obviously, is to install a lumber rack. A lumber rack gets the wood up off the floor, freeing up valuable shop space, and it also protects the wood from that moisture or any other damage. Now, you could build your own, but it's hard to beat the strength and the low cost of these Bora lumber racks. Now, I bought 2 sets and have them installed so that long boards can span over all 4 arms, giving them plenty of support and preventing any bowing. And these things are super strong. I can load up this rack with material and it has 0 flex, even side to side movement. It is absolutely rock solid. Be sure to check the link down in the description so you can get these for your shop. Now, a very important thing to consider, especially in a garage shop, is tool mobility. Sure, in a big industrial shop, it's fine to have everything in a permanent, designated place, but in a small garage shop, mobility is key. This makes it easier to maneuver things around if you want to change your layout or make room for a big project that you're building, or maybe you need to push everything out of the way to bring a vehicle inside. Almost everything in my shop has wheels of some sort. The table saw and the joiner have built-in wheels into the base. My bandsaw has an aftermarket mobile base, and I've added casters to the bottom of my router table and all of my workbenches. Even my huge outfeed table has these flip-up casters that can maneuver it around if needed. Now, one very important thing about having your tools on wheels is to make sure that the wheels have a lock mechanism or some way to prevent them from rolling. After all, you don't want to be chasing your router table all around the shop when you're trying to push a board through it. And with the locking gauge, the tool should be rock solid but still be able to move easily whenever you release the locking mechanism. I'll leave a link in the description to a few of my favorites. Now, in a small shop, you have to make the most out of whatever space that you have, every square inch. And most people don't realize just how much space they actually have. You just need to be a little bit creative in how you use it. This table saw, for example, I built a cabinet that fits perfectly beneath the side extension wing. This is just dead space that most people throw scraps under from cutoffs. I know for a while that's exactly what I did. But now this is where I keep my blades, dado stacks, push sticks, zero clearance inserts, and all kinds of other stuff and table saw accessories right here within arm's reach of the saw. The router table is another great example. This was a basic metal stand that I enclosed and added some drawers to. Now all of my bits, collets, wrenches, and all the other accessories have a dedicated spot right here where I need them instead of looking all over the shop trying to find the right router bit. And when I built my miter saw station, I was sure to include space for a shop vac underneath that automatically switched on for good dust collection. So be sure to consider all your major tools and what you need nearby, then work out what's the best way to integrate those items within the tool so that they're always within reach. Now, one of the most important upgrades you can make for your shop, and often the most overlooked, is proper dust collection. Now, I put off good dust collection for far too long because I thought it was just one of those luxury things that would be really nice to have, but not completely necessary. However, I didn't realize the difference that it would make in how clean my shop is, the difference it makes with my tools, but most importantly, the difference in my health. Now, like most people, I started out with just a shop vac connected to a few small tools. Then later I upgraded it by adding a Clearview Cyclone separator for even better dust collection and fewer bag changes. Now, as I got larger machines like a new joiner and a bigger table saw, I finally bit the bullet and got a true dust collector, and this made a huge difference in the cleanliness of the shop. I'm collecting the majority of the dust at the source, which keeps the shop so much cleaner. This also keeps my tools working better and lasting longer because they aren't getting packed with dust and chips. But the biggest improvement is the changes I noticed with my health. I used to have several days of just intense sinus pressure and congestion after a long day in the shop. That has completely gone away now that I'm collecting most of the dust before it ever even leaves the tool. For other times when I can't connect the main dust collector, I have a dust extractor for small tools like my sanders or the track saw. This has a HEPA filter for capturing all the really fine dust that really irritates the sinuses and your lungs. I've also added a ceiling mounted air filter for anything that gets past my main dust collector or my dust extractor. Look, I get it. Dust collection isn't the most exciting upgrade, but your lungs will thank you and your shop will stay cleaner. And honestly, your projects will turn out even better when you don't have all of that dust in the air settling on your finish. A huge frustration in many small garage shops is not having enough access to power. You see, most garages only have one, maybe two outlets. I would have extension cords running all over the shop, unplugging one tool, plugging in another, all while tripping over the cords stretched all over the floor. Not only is this really frustrating, but also dangerous in a shop full of really sharp blades. Now, I put a stop to this by adding outlets every 8 feet along the walls in my shop. This way, I'm always within reach of power without dragging all those cords around. But the key here is to use 2 separate circuits. What I did was leapfrog them along the wall so that outlet 1 was on circuit A, outlet 2 is on circuit B, and then back to circuit A on the next one, and so on. So why does this matter? Well, because now you can run your high-draw tools at the same time without tripping a breaker. I can have my dust collector running on one circuit while I fire up the table saw on another circuit. Before I did this, I was constantly having to walk over and reset the breaker because I was pulling too much power from one circuit. Now, if you're not comfortable doing the electrical work yourself, you can hire an electrician to come in and do this, and they can have the job done in a couple hours. It's not crazy expensive, and the convenience of having power everywhere you need it just makes this well worth it. And while you're at it, be sure to add a power strip or two to the side of any work table or your outfeed table so that you always have access to power at the central of your shop as well. I do a lot of work here at my outfeed table, and this power strip gets used constantly. Now, if you've made it this far into the video, be sure to let me know how many of these shop improvements you've made in your shop. Also, if I missed any awesome upgrades that you've done, be sure to let me know and they might make it into a future video. Then be sure to go check out this next video where I show you some awesome upgrades that you can make to your shop cabinets that will improve your storage and organization.